How do you play video games? Which genre, you say? Wait, what if I told you that no matter the genre or setting, all video games can be placed in one of two categories based on how we play them? I know, it looks like a clickbait, and I myself hate when people simplify things to conveniently organize them in several easily countable groups. But the idea that I'm about to share is based on actual science by a Nobel Prize winner that you probably never heard about.
Hi, I am not a witcher, B, real YouTuber, C, any of the above. But being a gamer with more than 30 years of experience, what I've noticed in myself and my friends is that the most important thing about new games that you might like is not what they are, it's how you're going to play them.
Let me start with one example. Imagine that you're back home from a long day of work or school and you're feeling so tired that you're not sure you're even able to Netflix and chill. In this hypothetical scenario, what game would you rather choose to play? An arcade platformer or a strategy game with real-time massive battles? Given that if you're like me, you actually like playing both these types of games. Yeah, it's a trick question, because the answer often depends on the exact type of the fatigue that you're feeling at this moment. It's one situation if you have a physically demanding job, maybe you work at Amazon's warehouse or something. Then you might want to distract yourself and your understimulated brain muscles. But if you're tired mentally from solving endless, meaningless problems all day, maybe you work at Amazon's office, then you are in a different state and you probably will not want to engage in a hardcore strategy with a lot of managing different kind of troops and planning ahead. You are a different you in different circumstances, and you might want different things from your gaming time. It all starts from how we think. You see, the Nobel Prize laureate I was telling you about is Daniel Kahneman, a psychologist who won the Nobel Prize in economics because he proved that people do not make financial decisions rationally. To do that, he studied how we actually think and make decisions. Basically, our brain can function in one of two modes: fast thinking, which is our intuition, immediate reactions to things, and it happens automatically, and slow thinking, which is our conscious analytical thought process, and it actually takes some effort. You can already see where I'm coming to, right? But wait, there's more to that. So, our fast brain and our slow brain, they are not left and right hemisphere, it's a myth. They don't just work differently, but it even feels differently when we use them. According to Kahneman, using our fast brain is much easier, and we only switch to the slow brain when we encounter an issue that the fast brain struggles with. Like, what is 12 multiplied by 7? So, when you are tired, it is even harder to use your slow brain than usual. And yes, when you are tired, you are more likely to play cinematic action games with little of difficult decision-making than, for example, learning to play Baldur's Gate 3 or any other complex RPG system that is new to you. But as opposed to that, when you use your slow-thinking brain to play a game, it can be very satisfying to figure something out on your own. And when your carefully devised plan works, it feels better than any meaningless achievement the game gives you for your Steam account. Now, I'm not saying that different game genres should be divided by this principle. In every game there are both thinking processes involved. Slower when you learn certain mechanics and principles, and faster when you are already familiar with the game and its controls, and you can instinctively use them without having to remember what does what. But what's important here is the fact that some games produce much more fun when you play them thoughtfully, using your imagination and curiosity, than if you play them simple and straightforward. Take, for example, Dishonored, both of them. You could treat these games as first-person shooters and just kill every enemy you encounter. Or you can treat them as immersive simulators and thoroughly study each mission to find all its secrets and devise smart and original ways to achieve your goals. One could argue that the second way is where those games really shine, because as shooters they have very limited weapon choices and enemy types, and some players might be disappointed by that. A different example is the games about Ori. You know, the cute light spirit with big eyes and bigger ears. The main gameplay process here is to learn different moving tricks and hone your reaction to achieve the state of constant flow when the protagonist performs impossible acrobatics. You can only play these platformer games if you use your fast thinking to make instant decisions and learn from your mistakes. From my experience, the games of the flow are better played with the controller and not with the keyboard and mouse. Some titles are much worse than others in that regard. For example, Middle-earth's Shadow of War, which default key bindings made my little finger on the left hand do the most work. Yes, you can rebind the standard keys, but don't tell me that most of the players have their little fingers in better shape than I do. But I digress. Many games might be played both ways. In Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you could be stealthy and carefully calculate the movement of the guards to be unseen. Or you could do it the Viking way and just kill everybody who dares to stop you. You choose your own fun, a game of the flow or a game of focus. It must be said that different players might have totally different experiences even if they try to play the same way. My best friend doesn't like to start new games often because she hates that learning period when she is not good at the game and not familiar with the interface and the controls. But many games are so short that when she finally feels comfortable playing them, they are almost finished. She also likes to play a game for years, while I usually want something new to play in 2-3 months already. And so, my best friend avoids games of the flow, because she has a hard time getting into the flow. Instead, she likes games of focus, because she is good at strategies and thinking ahead. So, what does it all mean, you may ask? I'm trying to say that before you choose your next game, try to think what you like the most in games and how and in what condition you are going to play it. Because this way you may avoid being disappointed by a good game that in different circumstances you might like. Do not go with what's popular right now if you're not sure that it's just for you. And have all the fun you can get, because this world needs people like you, people who want to be excited and happy in a simple and safe way, which is video games.
Well, thank you for hearing me out. I'm still not a Witcher, and as always, take care and farewell.